morning, good afternoon, good evening. Today is April 6th, 2021. My name is Julie. I am coming from Orange County, California. Welcome to the Julie and Milo show. My dear friend, Milo. Milo, could you please say hello?
How you guys doing? It's Milo from Nashville, Tennessee.
Thank you, Milo. Milo, we do have on the panel today our special friends, the top leaders in the company. And we like to sit together today to start a Q&A session with us today. So Milo, could you please introduce our guests?
Absolutely. Julie, man, we have the best of the best from ONPASSIVE here with us today. All the brains are here, so we're going to get all these questions answered. Up in the top, we have Andy Burks from the UK. We got Chris Johnson from Detroit, Michigan. We got Charles Osong in Washington, right? Maryland. We've got Marina Favit from South Africa. We got Red Renford from, I think he's from UK. And we got Jeffrey Morlock from out east, someplace, Greensboro, North Carolina, or someplace like that. Marty DeGarmo we have from New Jersey. So we got them all here today. So let's jump right in, and why don't you go ahead and start the questions?
Thank you, Milo. Thank you. All the leaders are here with us today. Let's start with question number 1. If you'd like to take the question after I finish the questions, please raise your hand. Question number 1. So I signed up, I paid the $97, I signed the NDA. What's the next step do I require to do? Marina, please take the question.
Right, so once you pay, can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Once you pay for your founding member position, you have an option. You can either be passive or active. So what I mean by that is passive is you do nothing until we launch. Active is you share this opportunity with as many people as you can. You just got to ask yourself, how many people do I want to help? And this is going to help their financial future. Until we launch, that is the option. Once you only pay twice with ONPASSIVE, so you pay your $97 now, and when we launch in a few months' time, you'll pay a one-time subscription of around about $250. And then the company will start doing the marketing campaigns for us. But we are welcome to help the company grow our business and teams for us by introducing this business to other people.
Thank you, Marina. Anyone likes to add more to it? I see Chris Johnson's hands up.
Hi, that was great, Marina. Let me do a little backup, piggyback in that. When you first get in, the best thing to do is really get in there under your GoFounders account. You can check all your information, make sure it's perfect. You can actually put your picture in there and then start wandering around on the site, check out the old webinars, get as much information as you can. That would be one of the best things to do right when you get in. Check everything out on there.
Thank you, Chris. Andy Burks, you want to add some more to it, or are you good?
Yeah, just there's lots and lots of different Facebook groups with a lot more information on it. So the suggestion is to come along and join those as well. You get information about the various webinars that are going on so that you can get more information and a better understanding, and you can have that light bulb moment like the rest of us.
Thank you, Andy. Back to you, Milo.
All right. So that was great. It's all about engagement, being engaged. So that's another question. I keep hearing about timestamp. Now, does the timestamp happen when I sign up or when I pay my $97? Andy?
Jeffrey was going to go for that one, but okay. The timestamp, basically, when you register, you do, however, have to pay before we go live. So if you don't do that, you will lose your timestamp. But it's date and timestamp as the day you register.
Day you register. Anyone else? Jeffrey, I can't hardly see your hand. It's off to the side, out of your camera. There you go, Jeffrey. Jeffrey, go ahead, Jeffrey.
I'm just going to add a little caveat in there. Of course, Andy, you're absolutely correct. But just so that people know, several months ago, we went through a short time frame where it was no longer the registration date.
It was actually the date that you paid the money. So there may be some founders whose registration date was the date they actually paid, but they went back after that to the registration date, just in case somebody says, well, I know that this ain't the date that I registered, but that's probably why. That's all.
Awesome. Marina?
That as well. Thanks for reminding me of that, Jeffrey. But when we go into our soft launch, that is going to be the date that we pay, not the registration date. That was made quite clear by Ishmafara. And so it's going to change from now. It's the registration date. So if you registered a year ago and only paid today, you will get that year back date. But if we in soft launch already and you registered before, let's say a few months ago, but by the time you actually pay, we're already in soft launch, you'll pay the increased price plus the date will be the date that you make the payment. So that is why we encourage everybody to get in now at the $97 and secure that early date. Thanks.
Awesome. Anyone else? No? Julie?
Thank you, Milo. Can I hold positions or accounts? Can I hold multiple positions or account? Those are three-part questions. I see Red's hand up.
Yeah, hi. You can hold as many accounts as you want. It's entirely up to you. Obviously, you need to bear in mind they have to be funded on launch. The unique part of every account is the email that has to be completely different. You can have the same name on every account, but you have to have an individual different email for every account.
Thank you, Red. There's another part to that question. Can they all be all in my name? Can they be in my company name?
Yeah, like I said, you can have the same name on all of them if you want to, and you can have a company name on them. It's entirely up to you. Also, in the profile section of every single account, you have the ability to change the name once you have put one in there. The only thing that you can't change that has to be done by support is the actual email in that, and there is only exceptional circumstances where that is allowed to be done. But as far as whatever name is on the account up until launch, that can be changed to whatever you want it to be.
Thank you, Red. Anyone else wants to add on to it? Jeffrey? Please unmute yourself, Jeff.
Mute yourself, Jeff.
Just going to touch up again. Red had brought up that there was data that wasn't able to be changed in the back room. Absolutely, the email, but there's also, you'll see down in the right-hand corner, your registration date or the date of activity. You can't change that date either. But so you can change your phone number, your name, and the country, but the other two dates you can't change.
Anyone else? Thank you, Jeffrey. Back to you, Milo.
All right. So if I have, say my children, I have children or I have grandchildren that I want to get into it, or nieces, nephews, can I do that? What if they're, is there a certain age they have to be? Chris Johnson?
No, you can sign anyone up at any age. There is a legal age. You could basically, let's do it like this. I'm going to sign up my grandkids, but I'm going to use my name right now. When they legally come and whatever it is in your country, I think in America at 16, I can legally turn it over to them and put it in their names through the ONPASSIVE system. It doesn't matter what age they are, but you have to turn it over. You have to manage that money for them until their legal age, and then you could turn it all over to them.
Red?
Yeah, as far as the legal age of owning a non-passive founder's position is concerned, and an account in that fact, is dependent on the legal age to own a business in your country.
All righty. Anyone else? Marina?
I wanted to add to that. Yes, there's a lot of people. I've actually got team members who have bought positions for their unborn grandchildren and unborn children. So they have had, there's people do it differently because the name is not your unique identifier. Your unique identifier within the ONPASSIVE group is your email address. So as long as you've got different emails, you can change the name at any time. For ease of reference, I actually put it into my children's names, even though they didn't know about the account, just to make it easy for me to recognize which account belongs to who. but at any time, I can change that name to whoever. So yes, the name you can change at any time. It's the unique identifier, which is your email, which has to be different. And that's entirely up to you what name you want to start off with.
Perfect. Anyone else? Charles?
Okay, so I just want to add to that because, for example, today, someone asked me, how can I sign somebody else's signature if I'm managing their accounts, right? So when we sign up, and the first thing we need to do right after making the payment, we have to sign up the NDA. And at the NDA, when you sign that NDA, at the bottom, there's two small boxes. The first one says, I've read and I understand what this is about. The second one says, I am the manager or owner of this account. So once you check those two boxes, what that second one is telling you is that you can sign as the manager of the account. And now, of course, when you are signing as a manager, you're signing your signature, right? So you can sign your signature, and that's perfectly okay, because in this situation, you are just a manager of the account. Just wanted to point that out.
Right, which makes you responsible.
Correct.
Awesome. Anyone else? All right, Julie, back to you.
Thank you, Milo. So I am a founder. What are the benefits for me as a founder of ONPASSIVE? Jeffrey?
First of all, you get bragging rights. That's what I love about it. You get to say, I am a founder with ONPASSIVE.
That's right.
And I'll tell you what, I use that a lot, but getting to the heart of the question, obviously the biggest and the best thing that we can do as founders is we get to pre-build our network, and we get access to the GoFounders and all of their tools before we go into soft launch or even pre-launch. I mean, while in pre-launch, before we go into the hard launch as well. Additionally, when we're a founder, we have the ability to get the inside scoop, to see what's happening in real time with ONPASSIVE, with the private webinars, the public webinars, and you're privy to information that you wouldn't otherwise be able to get. When we're doing things for ONPASSIVE as a founder in pre-launch, i.e. the soft launching things, then other benefits would include being able to use the tools that they come out with in the products. We get the first links to them. We also get to participate in the beta testing of it all. We get to do things that are pretty neat and keen, and we also get to bring in a lot of people. So I'll let somebody else finish it up, but that's primarily what we're looking at.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Up next, Red, please unmute yourself.
Yeah, there's also going to be specific bonuses available for founders that won't be available to resellers. And also, as far as founders is concerned, we will be able to be in a position where we can, as Jeffrey said, build our teams pre-launch before we launch the world, where resellers will be going from the launch date.
Awesome. Thank you, Red. Is there anyone else like to add to that? The mic to you, Milo.
All right. So say if I don't want to become a founder, I don't know why I wouldn't, but I don't want to become a founder and I just want to be a reseller. Can I do that? Jeffrey?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Of course, I wouldn't advise anybody to do that because, I mean, the real impetus of what we're trying to do here is going to be felt with the GoFounders, with the founders position. But if all you want to do is become a reseller, wait till we launch, then join ONPASSIVE through the, they're going to come up with an avenue. Right now, I think it's a 7-day trial. Once you sign up, there will be an option. There will be a very clear path for you to become a reseller and or just a customer, or you can do both, but you got to wait until launch. That's the key for reselling and customers. As soon as we launch, you'll have that option opened up to you.
Andy? Thank you, Jeffrey.
to be fair, we all become, as Jeffrey quite rightly pointed out, we all become resellers at the end of the day. The simple difference is, from a founder's point of view, as Red pointed out, there are going to be various bonuses for us as founders, and your $97, sorry, has a lifetime money back guarantee. So our advice would be to join as a founder, not as a reseller, if you get the opportunity.
Absolutely. Anyone else? All right. Oh, Jeffrey?
You know, I appreciate that, Andy. You just brought up something really good. And as long as I'm plugging it, I'm going to plug that founder's position, because quite frankly, founders get to build their teams and their teams build teams. And that's going to build a residual income that you will not find in any shape, way or form after you launch as a customer or a reseller. You may be able to go out and do your thing as a customer or a reseller, but it will in no way compare to what you'll be able to do as a founder. And there's another benefit that I just thought of as a founder that we have when we do build our teams. And I just lost it again. I'll have to think about that, because it was, I thought,
Bonus
wow, we
positions.
forgot all about that founder benefit, but absolutely.
Bonus positions.
Bonus positions?
Well, there are, what was I talking? I was talking about the founders positions, and it totally escapes me. I think I looked down at Red and then drew a blank, and I'm not, obviously, I don't know where it went. I'll probably find it again sometime.
All right, let's go on to Marina.
I think what Jeffrey might be going at, I don't know, is that as a founder, there's also going to be perks. You know, there's Ash has always told us that there's going to be holidays, there might be cars, there might, you know, as you grow your business, we're going to be rewarded. He's already rewarded a lot of founders with laptops and smart phone devices, or smartphones. And so that's just the beginning. We haven't even launched or gone into our soft launch, and he's already rewarding. So yes, there's going to be trips and all the good things that you can look forward to working in a corporate company, for example, you know, all the benefits. So it's really exciting.
All right, Jeffrey.
I found it. Thank you, Marina. You reminded me. The super campaigns. We're going to have the marketing done for us. If you're a founder, they're going to run the super campaigns for you. After we launch, they're going to have a whole slew of super campaigns, and that's what's going to put customers in founders' teams. That is a huge benefit for us.
Awesome. Charles?
Yes, I just want to add this. Somebody was listening to this and is saying, okay, I just want to be a reseller. I don't want to be a founder. The only difference right now is that founders are going to pay $97. But when you look at the benefits that founders are going to get for those $97, because first of all, as a founder, we are also resellers. So now you're being both a founder and a reseller, and you're giving that up because of $97 just to become a reseller. And then when you think about all those other benefits that Jeffrey, Andy, everybody has talked about, to me, it's just being a penny wise and a pound foolish. Yeah, that's all I can say.
Absolutely. I agree with you. Marty? Marty?
I figure I'd better say something or I'm not going to get paid. Keep in mind now, the big thing is, if you want to be a reseller, you have to wait until the hard launch. That could be 2 or 3 months away. That could be 500,000 people from now. Don't you want to lock in your time now for $97? The problem is 97 is a joke. If it was $1,000, we probably got more people jumping on it and think it's really valuable. But 97, it's very valuable. Not to do it is insane. Absolutely insane.
Jeffrey?
There's another benefit. Founders are forever. Okay. Once you're a founder, you're always a founder. And once we have that hard launch, the founder position goes away, and it is what it is. It's like Bitcoin. It's never going to be more than 23 million, right? And when we hit that limit, whatever that limit is, once we hit some hard launch, you're done. If you're a founder, you are in foundership in perpetuity forever. So that's your legacy right there.
All right, we'll take one more. Marina?
Yeah, I just wanted to add to that, that we are going to be the hunted. And we don't have to go out. You know, as a founder, we are also going to, from what my understanding, we're going to get badges. So people will recognize you as a founder of this global IT company, and they're going to want to be, they're going to want to know you. I mean, it's like knowing Mark Zuckerberg or Jeff Bezos. We are going to be those people in the spotlight of the IT industry, where people are going to want to know us and join our business. So yes, so we are going to be the hunted, and we no longer have to go hunting.
All right. I'd like to say one of my quotes, Marty kind of brought it up, you know, $97 is not much. Sometimes that's almost like, you know, I like to say, hey, founders, it's time to quit treating your multi-million-dollar business as a $97 expenditure. You know, if you're thinking that it's $97, you're wrong. It's a multi-million-dollar business. Back to you, Julie.
Thank you, Milo. Thank you for all that beautiful answers. So my next question says 3 parts of it, okay? But what are the fees out of my pocket before ONPASSIVE soft launch? What about during soft launch? And what about after hard launch? Marty?
You'll have the fees that you're going to have is $97 to be a founder. You're going to have to, and if you want to be a founder after soft launch, it's going to cost you more. It could be double what it is now. No other fees until hard launch. Then you pay for your package. But right now it's 97. Soft launch could be 50% more, 100% more during soft launch. And the other fee is only the product fee, which will be somewhere between 100 and 250. Ash is trying very hard to keep it under 250. It all depends on what the cost to run the company is per month. But that's the game plan.
Thank you, Marty. Is there anything else that anyone like to add? I think that was just covers it. Back to you, Milo.
All right. And how does one make money in ONPASSIVE? Please name a few ways that you'll be making money. I mean, there's multiple. Marty?
Trying to say this out loud. Anytime someone falls under you, a customer or a reseller, and they purchase a product, you get a small piece of the pie, or I'm trying to think of the proper word to use. You get a part of the sale, okay? So if you have 100 people, you get 100 parts of the sale. And remember, they're paying monthly, so that's residual income. And 99.999% of the people on ONPASSIVE will be customers paying for product. That's how you're going to get paid. And remember, customers will be put under you by the company, by Overflow, and if you do want to share, by you. But either way, your business is going to grow daily, monthly, yearly, and you'll get paid a small piece every time somebody purchases. Put your hands down, guys. That's good enough. I'm just kidding.
All right, Red.
Yeah, another way that we will all be paid is actually by the company. The company are going to go to work on our behalf. So, for instance, large corporations will have come to us for advertising. We will be having banner advertising on our own websites and web pages from the company, and we will get a small commission or a small portion of that advertising revenue. There's also going to be in the future other ways of the company making money, and any amount of money that the company make, every single founder will get a small portion of it.
Fantastic. You're right,
Awesome.
Red. I'm sorry. You're right.
Yeah, you missed it out, Marty. I can't believe you missed it, mate.
Chris Johnson.
All right, I'm going to piggyback on my 2 favorite guys there. And also the most important thing, there's no cap. It'll keep growing and growing and growing. There's no stop point. No cap. It goes to infinity. I think that's very important. And I'm glad I got to piggyback off you 2 geniuses there. I love it.
All right. Anybody else? Jeffrey Morlock.
I'm not really sure if you guys, both of you, Marty and the other Red and Chris covered it or not, but I'm going to put it out there just so that you can kind of expand your mental paradigm just a little bit. And that's that when we have companies that come in as a company to OnPassive, and they may open up the entire membership to their entire company. Okay, so whoever comes in with that company, or as that company comes in, if they happen to come under, say for instance, Marty knows somebody that owns a company, and that guy joins up because he knows Marty, then he brings that whole following. Marty's going to get a piece of every bit of that. Same thing with if you're meeting through social medias or through Zooms or any of the products, and it's done in mass, then those will also come into OnPassive and build the customer base. So, I mean, every time Mr. Mafara says this is a lot bigger than what you think it is, oh yeah, it's going to be absolutely huge.
Absolutely. Anyone else? All right, back over to you, Julie.
Thank you, Milo. I think the next question I was asking is already covered, so I'm going to skip that and I'm going to go on to another one. I don't want to throw Milo's off, but I'm going to the next question, so I skip one, Milo. Okay, so how does one access the profits that made in OnPassive? Red?
Okay, every single person, whether they are a founder, reseller, and or a customer, will have a virtual wallet called an O wallet attached to their account. The O wallet will have two parts to it. It'll have a funding wallet and the O wallet itself. If you are a founder or reseller, any commissions that come to you will first fill the funding wallet first, and this is to pay for your monthly subscriptions. Once that is full, it then falls over into your O wallet. Okay, and once that money goes into your O wallet, you can withdraw it at any time of any day without any qualifications. If money is there, you are in profit, you can withdraw it. And there is so many different ways you can withdraw it. There will be options to withdraw it directly to your bank, depending on country, of course, to banks in cryptocurrency, bankers drafts, and other forms as well, depending on your country. So that's how you will get your hands on any money that you have via your O wallet. Also, another thing to remember as well is that companies will be hosting their businesses on OnPassive, and they in turn will have O wallets connected to their businesses via a marketplace within the company of OnPassive. So for instance, if one of these cars is one of these businesses, a car dealership, for instance, you can actually buy a car on OnPassive by just transferring that money from your wallet to their wallet, and it didn't even have to leave the country at all. Absolutely amazing.
Jeffrey?
I just want to make somebody aware of something as far as getting the money, and that is if your subscription is not paid up, then you will not be able to access any of the commissions in there, but you'll be able to see the commissions accrue until, like Red had said, that there's enough to pay the subscription, and then you'll get the overflow. So there may be a chance where you look in there and you see some money that you can't access. That's because it hasn't paid, the subscription wasn't paid, if that makes sense. You'll be able to see it, you just won't be able to get it because the subscription amount hasn't been made yet.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Thank you, Red. Anyone else? Marina?
I just wanted to add with the O wallet, you'd also be able to pay invoices from there. From your back office, you'll be able to pay your tithes to the church or charity, what have you. So it's really going to be very easy to manage where you're wanting your money to go. Pretty awesome. Like Milo says, it's our own world bank. I love that.
Absolutely. Thank you, Marina. Anyone else like to add more to that? Back to you, Milo.
All right. His ONPASSIVE founder position, is it transferable or willable? Andy, works?
Yes, they are transferable. If you're passing it on to your children, or in Chris's case, his unborn grandchildren, you need to make sure that you have a will in place that actually sets out specifics for each account that you've got as to where you want it to go. It's okay at the moment because there's nothing going into the system. There's no commission going into the O-wallets, etc. But once that starts, you will have to make sure that you've got a full will and testament to ensure that it passes to the correct person that you want it to pass to. Marina's been through the process at the moment, and obviously if somebody does pass away, then you have to provide various documentation to support that, but it is essential that you have a will and testament in place to cover that.
Jeffrey?
If there's another part of that it kind of goes along with the willable, but it's not really to do with the will. It's kind of an offshoot, and that is if you have something that's that happens, you know, a tragedy, an emergency in the home, a death in the family, something like that, then the way that you want to actually be able to transfer that account is going to be through the support system within ONPASSIVE, and you're just going to provide the legal documents and go through a legal process that will be set up in case you happen to have something like that within the family, where you want to say, for instance, if someone dies and you need to take that account over, there will be steps, a legal process in place for that to happen as well.
Awesome.
Add to that, well, not to add, just to clarify, I have gone through this process with one of the two founders actually, and support requested the death certificate, which is understandable, and then proof that that person is the beneficiary. Once that's ascertained, they need the name and email address of the new beneficiary of that account. It's pretty simple, but there are obviously trails to follow, and you have to have that information. And that is why it is so important. I've just got to urge the importance of putting this into your will. You know, letting your family know that you've got this position, and let them know what your email and password is, because people don't realize that this is an asset. You know, at the moment, because we're not earning off it yet, they don't realize the magnitude of it. This is important. That's got to go in your will. It's an important document. You can actually print out your non-disclosure agreement and your invoice as all proof of your payment to and your founding member position, which is fantastic.
Awesome. Thank you, Marina. All right, Julie, back to you.
Thank you, Milo. So obviously, oh, Jeffrey Morlock has his hand up.
I'm sorry.
Take one more.
Sorry, Jeffrey.
No, that's absolutely right. I love this because, you know, we're kind of feeding off of each other's, which does a lot better than just answering the questions. And Marina has got an excellent point. Something I'd like to bring up and just recommend, obviously, to every founder. I mean, if you're like me, and a lot of founders are, if you look at the numbers, we have multiple accounts. Please make a list of all your accounts and their passwords and keep those somewhere, so that in case something happens, somebody in your family has got that complete list. Because if you're like me, I got a whole page of them. And if I died tomorrow, except for the goodness of ONPASSIVE reaching out and saying, gee, you know, Mrs. Morlock, do you know Jeffrey's in this? I mean, obviously all my kids do, but you understand the importance of what I'm saying is make sure there's a list, make sure you've got your accounts and your passwords, and make sure that somebody knows where that information is in the event that something happens catastrophic. Then, I mean, Marina, you're absolutely 100%. This is a legacy for your families. This will be something that'll be generating for generations. So take care of it. And like you said earlier, don't treat this like a $97 expenditure.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Thank you, Milo. Thank you, Jeffrey. And I believe you have already covered the next question. So I'm going to skip to another one. So when I activate my O-wallet, what information will I need to provide? Red?
Yeah, hi. The O-wallets are going to be controlled by a third party outside of ONPASSIVE. And these people are going to expect you to set these wallets up by using a term called KYC, which is Know Your Customer. This is normal practice on the internet at the moment. Depending on country, again, there will be various forms that you will have to provide to this company to verify who you are. This could be a driving license, passports, it could be utility bills, it could be also facial recognition, which is being used a lot more now. In Spain, for instance, they use notaries to confirm who you are, also documentation from town halls, etc., all depending on what country you are. This is the legal way of setting up your wallets to verify who you are, because at the end of the day, security is going to be paramount, because this is where the money is going to be. And one of the reasons that ONPASSIVE is going to be using a third party is that to keep your account safe. That means that to access the money, you have to go through the setup process of the KYC. There's also going to be probably 2FA that's going to be attached to it, which is another security measure as well to be able to access that account.
Thank you, Red. Andy?
There's also, it differs for company setup. So if you've got a company within ONPASSIVE that you've set it up for the company, then you'd need a certificate of incorporation, articles of association, etc. The documentation differs slightly for a company that would do for an individual. Red's quite right. There's normally an ID, passport, a photo ID, and then there's a selection of various different other documentation like utility bills or phone bill, bank statements, etc. So there is normally a list, and I'm sure that the company will come out with that list for each individual country.
Thank you, Andy. Anyone else? Back to you, Milo.
All right. And do we know what the monthly subscription fee is going to be? Marty?
Nope. No, we heard it's going to be between 100 and 250. I know that Ash is trying to keep it max 250. What he has to do is figure out the cost to run the company and to have money to further projects and all that. So he doesn't know that cost yet, but he wants it at 250 or less. So that's what he said.
Awesome. All righty. Back to you, Julie.
Thank you, Milo. Okay, so is there yearly fees for being a founders? And if there is, how much is it? Is there a yearly fee for being a resellers? And if there is, how much is it, Marty?
I have to catch up. Resellers, no. Founders, $977 a year after the date of hard launch. That's what we heard. Oh, go ahead, Chris.
Unmute yourself, Chris.
Chris, unmute yourself.
Marty, you accidentally said 977. I think it's 997. If I'm wrong, correct me, please.
You're wrong. No, you're right. You're probably right. I don't know. Somewhere around $1,000. Go ahead, Brad.
Yeah, there's one thing just to remember, that you're absolutely right. It's going to be, we've been told 997 for the renewal after 1 year. But also bear in mind that to be able to renew the founder's position, which is optional, by the way, you don't have to renew your foundership. You can opt not to do it. If you think it's not worth the 997, I have no idea why people wouldn't, but there you go. But there will be qualifying things that you have to do to be given the option to renew, and one of those will definitely be having an active account, which means basically paying your 12 monthly subscriptions throughout that period of time.
Thank you, Red. Also, is that $997, is that out of pocket, or is it from the profit that the company made? I see Marina comes up first, and then Red.
Red would have answered that perfectly. The lovely thing is with ONPASSIVE, we only pay twice. Once for your founding member position, once for your subscription. Going forward, anything that needs to be paid for comes out of our profits earned. So we don't need to worry about, can we afford it? You will be able to afford it with the volume that is coming in. So I just tell people to just rest, don't sweat the small stuff, because that is a drop in the ocean of what we're actually going to be achieving with ONPASSIVE. So yes, it will come out of our profits earned. Once again, it will go into our funding wallet if you select it.
Thank you, Marina. I see we have Jeffrey hands up, and then Marty.
Yeah, Red, you may have covered this. I may have missed it, and forgive me if I'm going back over this. But the foundership, the renewal of the foundership, there is a process. It's not a given. Just because you opt in to do it doesn't mean you have to qualify to remain a founder. There is a process that actually put in place, and there are criteria for it. You have to be in good standing, as they say. So it's just not something you're going to be given. You gotta be in good standing to have it renewed.
Thank you, Jeffrey. I know, I'm sorry, Red, you had your hand up after Marina. Is there anything else you'd like to add to that? You good?
No, Marina's absolutely right. We presume that when we get close to the renewal, there will be a button within your wallet. You click, and obviously the funds will start accruing to be able to pay for that founder's position, as Marina quite rightly said, from commissions. So we are not paying out of pocket.
Beautiful, thank you. How about Marty? Do you have anything else to say to that, Marty?
Everybody kind of said it, other than if you don't have enough money to pay your founder position in a year, you're not a founder anyway. So you're good to go.
Thank you, Marty. Back to you, Milo.
That's good, Marty. How many companies has Ash owned before ONPASSIVE? Jeffrey?
0. He has not owned any. He's been in quite a few, but this is the first one that's actually his.
Thank you for clarifying that. All right.
I think Marty has his hand.
Next.
I think Marty has his hand.
Oh, Marty's got his hand up?
Yeah, my hand's not working. Something's not right here.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, Jeffrey's right. He hasn't had any businesses, but he has sold a lot of systems to companies.
Right.
Either a system to run an MLM or whatever it took. But he has done a lot of that, but none of his own systems. Jeffrey's 100%.
All righty.
A lot of those are out there and still active, by the way. It's good stuff.
He's making money. He's making money from them right now. Yep.
Right. Absolutely. All right, Julie, back to you.
Thank you, Milo. That's beautiful. Okay, so let's talk about ONPASSIVE offices. How many ONPASSIVE offices out there, and how many countries is ONPASSIVE in presence now? And will there a company meeting around the world for ONPASSIVE founders? I see Red's hands up first. Red.
Okay, I'll just take the first part of this and then leave the other two parts to it. At the moment, we did have 3 offices around the world. We got one in Orlando, Florida. We did have one in Bangalore, and we've got our main office in Hyderabad, high-tech city in India. We've subsequently moved all of the staff from the Bangalore office up to Hyderabad to have them all in the one place. I do believe that the lease is still going till the end of this year, the one in Bangalore. But the Hyderabad office, there is a 9-year lease on that one at the moment and ongoing. The second questions I'll turn over to somebody else.
Thank you, Red. Who likes to answer the second part of the question?
Well, I think it was countries. There's 212 countries, which means some of those are territories because there isn't 212 countries. Territories are they're considered countries. So it's 212 last time I heard.
Okay, anyone else? Anyone like to take the third part of the question? Jeffrey Mola?
I can't remember the third part, but I did want to say also in the back room or in the back office under contacts, There is a California office address. And I don't know exactly what that is, but it is listed. So I guess technically that is another office. But I never hear of anything going on there. So what was the third part of the question?
Will there be company meetings around the world?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
You...
yeah. There will be lots of company meetings in lots of different places. I'm absolutely sure. And I would even imagine that there's going to be quite a few of those that will be sponsored by corporate ONPASSIVE. And we will have galas and I can't imagine anything slowing that down. Yeah, you're going to have, and that goes part and parcel with the 1,000 global leaders, the positions that you're going to have after launch, and after you hit certain criteria for the global leaders, then each of those, you're going to have a global leader and maybe one or two or more per country. So, and these global leaders will be the core of communication for ONPASSIVE Global. And a lot of that activity that you're talking about or questioning right now will be coming through every one of those via corporate, and it'll float down into the various countries and the various global leaders. So the short answer is, you bet. There's going to be a lot of meetings with a lot of people.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Brett?
Yeah, we've already actually had one meeting, and this was the inauguration opening of the Hyderabad offices, where the Indian leaders and partners as well, actually, some of them went there. There was about, I think, 35 to 40 to the opening. They got shown around the new offices, etc. And this was our very, very first meeting that we've had as far as ONPASSIVE, the company, is concerned.
Thank you, Red. Jeffrey brought up a good point. I like to bring that up right now. So what are global leaders and what are the requirements to become a global leader? Anyone want to take that? Red?
Last time we had this information, it might change obviously, but the requirements are to have 1,000 personal sponsored people plus a team of 10 or in excess of 10,000 members in your team. So 1,000 personals and 10,000 within your team. Then you will be given or asked if you would like an office in your country. As Jeffrey rightly said, you will be then the main kingpin point of your country. And as rightly Jeffrey did say as well, there could be more than 1, 2, or 3 per country. But it's a big milestone to get to for many, many founders out there. It's also going to be, I believe, a paid position from the company as well to be a global leader, to have your own office. There will be allowances for it.
Thank you, Red. Marina, I see your hands up.
Yeah, I just want to add to that for those that might be new. When you think about 1,000 personal direct referrals, whatever, it's like, oh my gosh, how can I ever achieve that? That is not it's not about what you can personally achieve. It's about what the company with the AI marketing campaigns is going to be doing for us and putting those customers under us, which builds our direct team. And so that's going to happen very quickly. If you've actually started with a bit of foundation and you have started building a team, that's going to even happen quicker. And then the other thing is, and I remember because Charles Song asked this question to Ash Mafara, he lives in the USA, but he wanted an office in Nigeria and Cameroon. And Charles said, Ash said, wherever you want it. That's all about total freedom with ONPASSIVE, the CACMO, time and total freedom. Because you can literally I could go, if I had to qualify, I could say, I want to open an office in Hawaii, for example. You can be anywhere in the world because you don't have to physically live in the country that you have your office at. You qualify and you can run it the way you want, which is fantastic.
Thank you, Marina. Andy?
Just one additional point. Jeffrey mentioned it earlier on. A lot of us have got multiple positions. That's 1,000 on one position and 10,000 on that team, not overall. Okay.
Absolutely. Thank you, Andy. Jeffrey?
And just to point out that just like the number of founders is finite, that's 1,000 global positions. That's it. Once you hit 1,000, we're done. There's not going to ever be any more. So there is a little pressure. If you want to be one, you got to start pre-building.
So what if you have two people, two founders in one country, in one area, and they both have the same? Is it based on the timestamp? Like whoever hit that number first? Or how does that work? Marina?
On well, who achieves it first? So it's first come, first serve. They will get the first choice. There will only be a maximum of 10 per country, though. They will not go higher than 10 offices per country. So it depends on the demand and how many founders we have. The likes of India, for example, will definitely have 10 offices there because, you know, the majority of founders, a large portion of our founders come from India. And then obviously the United States as well. But that's what's so lovely. If you do qualify and all the positions in your country are taken, you can take your office elsewhere, take it abroad, take it wherever, to the next country, wherever you want to live. Think about where you want to retire and look for an office there.
Marty, you have something to add, Marty?
No, I was wiping off my camera. Yeah, Red, where are you going to put your office at?
Choices. Next to yours, mate.
Awesome. So now the next question is actually on the same topic. Will ONPASSIVE pay for all the expenses for that global leader to open the office in where they choose, or is it out of the global leader's pocket? Jeffrey?
Oh yeah, I think Red and Marty both touched on this one, that ONPASSIVE is, oh yeah, they're going to foot the bill and they're going to do it right. They like to do it fancy, and they're talking about setting you up in a real nice place with a car, your payroll. I mean, everything. Creme de la creme. ONPASSIVE is going to take care of you.
Awesome. Thank you, Jeffrey. Back to you, Milo.
All right, this question goes out to Mr. Charles Olsong. Charles, what's the difference between the soft launch and the hard launch?
Okay, thank you. That's what it is. One is soft, one is hard, right? So, okay, no, I'm just kidding. I'm trying to be like Maddie, just make people crack. Okay, so we have phases. The soft launch. So we're in pre-launch right now, and we're going to get into soft launch. What does that mean? In software development, we have what they call alpha testing and beta testing, right? So alpha testing, that's done by the engineers, a group of engineers who call them testers, right? They've done that already. And then the beta testing is synonymous to what we call end user acceptance testing. And we are already getting into that in a matter of days. We already have the O-Bless in our back offices, we have the O-Trim, we have Academy. These ones are pretty much ready. So at any point in time, Ash is gonna let us know. They are revamping our Go Founders back office. That means we, the founders, we're gonna be able to access those products that are ready and start testing them out. Now, does that mean we are into soft launch? No. However, Ash has said, by the time we get a few of those products ready, 5, 6, 7, 8, we're gonna get into soft launch. What's the difference? In the soft launch, we are gonna be testing the traffic. Wow. And the traffic, of course, at this time, we're testing it for the founders, because that traffic is what's gonna give us customers and or resellers, right? But since we are not yet open to the public, we're gonna have some founders. How many founders are we gonna get? That's up to Ash and his team, right? So it's not a guarantee. We're gonna get some founders coming, testing the traffic, and then we're gonna get a bonus. So once we start seeing the bonus coming in, the price goes up from $97 to some unknown amount. Like Maddie says, it could be 50% more, it could be double, but the price will go up. And then we, the founders, we are gonna start seeing some bonus, right? So once we see that bonus coming in, we'll see new founders coming in from AI, left and right. We are gonna know we are in soft launch, right? And that's gonna transition into the hard launch. And how does that work? We, the founders, after testing those products, we're gonna know that, okay, everything looks good. Our systems say go. Nothing, no bugs need to be fixed. And then Aisha said, we're going to now sit together as a company and we're going to decide when to bring this baby to the public. And that's the hard launch. Awesome. When the customers, everybody can come in as customers and or resellers, no more founders. So if you're here and you're listening, jump on board before we get to that point.
Awesome. So you mentioned something about on the soft launch, there's going to be a bonus. Can you tell us a little about that? Can you expand on that bonus plan?
Sure. So Aisha has decided he's going to reward those founders that are currently working hard. What does that mean? That means during soft launch, whatever you do during soft launch is going to give you a little bonus, some money in your pocket. And how does that work? If you bring in a founder during soft launch and that founder is direct to you, you get a $20 bonus for each founder that you bring in. And now that founder can be brought in by AI, doesn't matter. As long as it is positioned under you, you get a $20 bonus, okay? Now, indirect. So if I bring you Milo and you bring Julie, so if I bring you, I get $20. And you bring Julie, you get $20. And I get $2 because Julie is my second level. So second all the way to the 15th level is $2, which is huge, especially for those people that are building, right? Because just imagine, we know there are people that have 10,000 in their teams already, some 20, some 30, some 40, even more than 100,000. Now, if you have, say, 100,000 in your team at this point, that means you probably are averaging maybe what, 500 new founders a day, because you have 100,000 potential founders, potential active founders. So if you're getting 500 a day coming in, not from your effort, that's already $1,000 a day. Plus what AI is going to do for your team. So those people with big teams, they stand to make some serious cash, even during soft launch. Wow. Okay. So I always tell people, if you have 0 in your team, well, 0 times 2 is 0, right? If you have 1,000 in your team, well, 1,000 times 2 is 2,000. So those people that are currently working, they're going to be smiling come soft launch. They might even wish we never get to hard launch.
Wow, that's a great explanation. Does anyone else got anything to add? I think he covered it all. All right, back to you, Julie.
Where can I find a compensation plan for ONPASSIVE? Anyone would like to take that question? Jeffrey?
I love the easy ones. You can't. You can't. It is proprietary and it is hidden way deep in the depths of ONPASSIVE. And if you haven't been following us, you will not find it. It is not the matrix that is out there. It is not that chart. Nobody has ever seen anything like what we've got. The animal did not exist before we gave birth to it. So no, you will not find it, period. As a matter of fact, you may not even find it after we launch because it's going to be that proprietary. I think Marty, Red, are they working on a patent for this particular compensation plan?
I believe so, yeah, because it is so revolutionary and it hasn't been used before. I know that Ash was talking about being able to protect it so nobody else could copy it.
Yeah, it's not just one payment. It's many, it sounds like.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Thank you, Red. Thank you, Marty. Anyone else like to add to that, or are we all good with that? All right, back to you, Milo.
I think that was pretty cut and dry.
Absolutely.
All right, let's go. When will I be able to add or build my website on the ONPASSIVE platform? Red.
Okay, as far as your website, what you get as a founder, and part of your founder's payment that you get right now is you'll be able to have a domain name and website that ONPASSIVE will drive traffic to build your team. This you'll be able to set up very close to main launch and not before. You'll be given that option, I would imagine, a week, 10 days before we main launch, and that is when you'll be setting up your domain name and your website ready for the launch date, and not before.
All righty. Jeffrey?
I just wanted to add something. I mean, Red, you're obviously spot on, brother, but I just wanted to add into that isn't anything necessarily that's that whole the process. What Red is talking about, we've got to get the beta testing done, and we got to get the products ready before that actually happens. So that's what's changing the directory. I mean, the trajectory of what we're doing and why we haven't gotten them yet and why we're not there yet. And that's what's going to drive when it's going to become available, is when do we get the beta? When is the product ready to be tested? And when is it actually ready for launch? And when can we start using it live? So, but I'm just trying to throw that in there, Red. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Anyone else? Back to you, Julie.
Thank you, Milo.
Wait 1 second. My hand was up. It's not working. I can, it just goes blank. Look.
Yeah.
Anyway, I
put it over your face.
Yeah, I believe that a lot of the when we talk about websites that we can build, what we build and what the company promotes probably are two different things. I would think that there's not going to be 600,000 websites of different things. Like using AI, I would think they're going to have rotators with different links, and they're going to be using different websites constantly. It'll be milliseconds. Now, if you want to take a site and build it and go promote on your own, I think that's one thing, but I think they'll do a lot of that internally. I mean, that's my opinion. I don't know for a fact, but just thinking about how it would work, I think be a rotator, and AI will learn which site works the best. And it may not be Marty with a half-assed video on it. You know what I mean? I think they're going to want it. They're going to be using their own, I believe, in a lot of the marketing, but I could be wrong. I'm going to find out.
All right. Julie?
All right. Thank you, Milo. Will an automatic clearinghouse or automatic withdrawal be able to add it to our wallet? Jeffrey?
Can't hear you, Jeffrey.
Oh, I hate my button here. I haven't heard that specifically brought out or mentioned, but if you look at the history of ONPASSIVE and you look at and gauge the type, kind, and quality of work they do, and the mere fact that, as you said 100 million times, if you said it once, if you need it for your business, we're going to have it. I cannot imagine that clearinghouse or automatic payments or ACH or debits, it's all going to be part, but it's going to have to be worked in so that the wallet and the third party and all of the finances and everything works in together. But the short answer is, yeah, you're going to see just about anything and everything that makes sense to do in a business sense. We're going to have it.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Anyone else like to add to that? Back to you, Milo.
All right. Will the wallet be tied to blockchain and smart contracts? Would wallet be able to be used as a retirement fund? Or would the wallet be able to be used as a life insurance policy? Jeffrey?
I think so. Yes and yes.
Marty?
Concerning the blockchain, right now it's not connected, it's not utilizing blockchain, but I have no doubt in my mind they are heading toward that direction. It's my personal opinion that until they come into a base 12 for blockchain, it's not going to be absolutely hack proof, but that's coming, and it's coming quickly. As far as being used for wallet and wallet actually integrating blockchain, I'm sure that will happen. It's just not happening right now, and we may get wallet before they do that. That may be a next gen kind of a thing. I'm not really sure. I haven't heard Ash talk specifically about it, but I know he is a fan of blockchain and obviously by extension cryptos. Can it be used as a retirement fund? Well, it's a wallet that holds money and you can use it for whatever you want to use it for, but it's not designed as a retirement fund, and it's certainly not designed as a life insurance policy. But I mean, if you want, you put your money in there, you can keep it in there for as long as you want and do what you want with it. So you can call it whatever you want. It's a bucket full of money.
Awesome. Okay, Andy Burks.
I think we certainly with regard to the retirement plan, Jeffrey's right. At the end of the day, you could technically use it as a retirement plan, but obviously for certain countries, you're not going to get the tax relief. So from a perspective of your money's coming into the O wallet, you've got to pay tax on that. There are two trains of thought. You either, well, when you get your retirement income, you'd have to pay tax on that anyway. So why would you need to set up a retirement plan? Because at the end of the day, this is your retirement plan, if you like. There's no, I've offered these things for many, many years, and people put in an amount of money over a month, every month for a period of 20 years odd, in order to build up a pot and then draw an income from it. Well, the O wallet is creating an income for us anyway, so it would be pointless to have a retirement plan, or not. It's not exactly a retirement plan. You're not going to get tax relief on it. So, and as far as the life insurance contract is concerned, no, it's not. There are various rules and regulations regarding life insurance contracts, and it's not classed as such. But again, if it creates an income, whoever you're passing it to is an amount of money that's being passed to them, as long as you've got the will in place. So again, no necessity to have a life insurance plan.
Absolutely. Okay, Chris Johnson.
Hey, seeing that I am a retired young man, I do get one set income every month. So as far as what ONPASSIVE is going to complete for us, from what I see from listening to you and what I study in the market, you're going to get a whole lot more than you ever expected. So like I said, just plan smart with your money, get into a financial advisor. But as far as everything that you want, it's coming your way. So I would say, no, everything that you're going to want is going to be there. You just got to be smart enough to do the right thing.
All right. Great answer. Great answer. All right. Julie, back to you.
Thank you, Milo. This particular questions I actually wanted to throw into a list of questions, not on a list, by the way. I like to have Charles Osong explain this. So explain to us artificial intelligence, machine learning. You have an IT background, and if you could go into that and explain that for us, please, Charles.
Okay, so it's a very broad subject, artificial intelligence, but basically it writes on data. Okay, we need data, and if you can remember last webinar with Ash, and he said that the engineers, the team has asked for at least 12 business days before we can get enough data, okay, before we can be able to get OBLES up and running correctly. So it writes off of data. It's very, very intensive. It's machine learning, part of it. And then what happens is, just imagine machine trying to figure out what we humans are doing, okay? So it goes based off of empirical data. It learns, it adapts, it becomes even better, okay? And that's why we have these data scientists that are very, very scarce. It's a brand new field in IT, and to get a qualified data scientist, to tell you the truth. And that's why when I tell people, I say, you guys, you just keep talking because you don't understand these things, and it is evolving, okay? Before, initially, it was very primitive, and it's getting better and better. And we're having these data scientists, very, very few qualified ones, and they're very rare. So that's why I'm telling guys, I say, we just have to be prepared. It's taking forever because these qualified personalities or personnel in that field, you're gonna be hard pressed to find the really good ones, okay? However, we don't want to get too technical, but machine learning is a branch in computer sciences that studies the human behavior, the behavioral patterns of human, okay? Make it better after collecting the data, and then it tries to imitate or to copy what humans do. Okay, so basically it is huge, it is revolutionary, and it is disruptive. That's all I want to say about it. Okay.
Thank you, Charles. Anyone else like to add to it, Marina?
A point that Charles mentioned, you know, we've got these data scientists. When I was in recruitment, I got an order mandate to find a data scientist for a technology company. You know, it took me 18 months to find the right person, because it's so selective, and they're really like so rare. The fact that we've got 3 or 4 is just amazing. Really it is. So yeah, we have got the best of the best out there. You know, the staff that we have, they're technical geniuses, these guys, and I'm just so chuffed that we're part of this, and that they literally got our future in their hands, and they're making it wonderful for us.
Thank you, Marina, and thank you to all the staff, the geniuses staff that we have. Absolutely.
I know somebody asked me if I were to go back all over, if I was, say, a teenager trying to get a career, and I said to them, I'm going to do machine learning. I want to become a data scientist, something like that, because it's the next big thing. Okay.
Wow.
In my opinion, in the field of IT.
Wow. Thank you, Charles. Anyone else like to add to that? Back to you, Milo.
Wow, that's good stuff. All right. What would be better, to gift a homeless person with Oh Bless, or to buy them a position under you? Andy Burks.
I think the old adage is it's better to teach someone to fish than just to give them a fish and feed them for a day. So if you've got the capability, it's better to gift a position rather than gift them some income from it. I think many of us here have got multiple positions, and from my point of view, it would be great to have positions for some of those naysayers that we've all got on our within our circle of friends, if you like, and it's like, by the way, this is paid for, and it's now providing you an income, here you go. So I think that it would be better. You've got Oh Bless, so you've got this opportunity to give to a generic homeless people, as in a group of charity, or as an individual. So you've got that option. But as I said, from our point of view, many of us have got multiple positions. So some of those additional positions can be handed out to various different organizations or close friends, etc.
Jeffrey?
I just want to kind of bring something up that I hope that most people are aware of, but if they're not, then this is something we do need to consider. In what Mr. Burke, what Andy has just said, in that, albeit a house is a pretty big fish. If you give somebody a house or anything large, if you give them a lump sum, if you provide in a massive way, amounts that are in excess of what somebody is used to handling, you could very easily cripple them, because they don't know how to manage it, they don't know how to handle it, they don't know how to work with it, they don't know how to fund it, they don't know how to do a lot of stuff. But like he was saying, if you get them a position, and that position starts out small and it starts to create wealth, then they can learn how to manage that, and how to use it, and how to get out of their situation over time, and they will be much better down the road than if you were to give them. It's kind of like winning a lottery and you've never had that much money. It can destroy people if you don't know what you're doing. So I would defer, as Andy had said, that give somebody the position and then bring them along and mentor them with that position, saying, this is the position, this is why you're getting it, this is what it's going to do for you. Come on, let's check it every day and watch how this thing goes for you. But meanwhile, help them, especially if they're homeless and needy, help them while you can, but bring them up in such a way where it won't destroy them. And rather than that, it'll set up a legacy for them and their family.
Absolutely. I love that, Jeffrey, and I love the fact that, you know, most of the time, if it wasn't homeless person, usually those are some of the most giving people. So if you can bring them on and teach them to, hey, here's your spot, and you should give out of this, you know, it's going to grow their team, and it's going to grow your team too, you know, and that's the thing about a seed, you know, putting a seed in. Anyone else?
Well, I just,
Charles?
yeah, I just want to say sometimes when people are homeless, sometimes it's because they cannot manage funds. And if you think of it from that perspective, you may want to, like, you know, Jeffrey was saying, help them, show them, you know, kind of guide them how to do it, because they might go crazy once the money starts coming.
Yeah.
and yeah, I'm telling you. So, and then it all depends. If you want to have one homeless person to help them, maybe two, or do you want to open an account or a couple of accounts and then help a lot of them? Okay.
Yeah.
So those are the kind of things we can take a look at.
Absolutely. Marina?
To add, in line with that, we're also going to be getting financial assistance. You know, there's a lot of people that, what am I going to do? I don't understand the taxes and this and that. I mean, Andy would understand that. And yes, Ashmafara has said that we will get training. We will get people advising us as to what to do and how to do it and what's best to do with your, you know, with the money that we are going to be receiving. So there will be aid for us, you know, help to help us make this transition from where we're at into wealth and know how to manage it correctly.
All right, Andy?
I think one of the greatest things all of us have got the picture of here is that we all know that we're sorted, and now we're thinking about how we can help others. So from the homeless perspective, certainly I know my heart is towards the veterans, where a lot of the veterans will work in for the country over a period of time and then lose their houses of residence once they leave, and then all of a sudden they find themselves on the street. So what makes me very humble is the system that Ash has created enables us to look at this from a different perspective all of a sudden. And instead of looking at it from a perspective of what am I going to get out of it, it's what are we going to be able to do for others. This system that it is just amazing. Oh bless, when we had this product launch the other day, was absolutely incredible. It certainly brought a tear to my eye. I don't know about everybody else, but it's just, I love the way that everybody now thinks about, now they've got it, it's how can we help others?
Absolutely. Back to you, Julie.
Thank you, Milo. I know Marina had brought up a point, but I'm still going to ask this question. Will there be any accounting help or legal help for founders? Would there be a fee charged to it, or is it something that ONPASSIVE is offered for us as founders? Anyone want to add a little bit more to that? Jeffrey?
I didn't see anybody that was really willing to jump into that one, so I figured I'd go ahead and get it started at least. There will be help on both sides of that, and there will be free, and I'm sure there will be paid, as well as they will probably even have recommendations for people that do that sort of thing as a fee for service and that sort of thing. I don't think that ONPASSIVE is rated as a legal company for hire, so to speak, although they've got an excellent legal team. And he has mentioned that there will be certain things, you know, like taxes, and there will be certain help for certain issues financially, at least if not long-term for a complete suitability, at least to get people pointed in the right direction and put them in contact with the people or entities that we need to be in contact with to make sure that we can manage whatever it is that we're getting from them.
Marina?
That, you know, when you look at the amount of founders that we have, and we've got a lot of intelligent people in professionals in accounting, chartered accountants, attorneys, lawyers, what have you. And they would be able to use the Academy as a side income or second stream of income, charge a small fee to give this sort of advice, which I think a lot of founders will really find grateful to be able to plug into that. And it doesn't have to be a large fee. It could be $5, $10 a month or whatever, but you're getting your basics, and I think there will be a lot of founders that's going to make use of the Academy for that reason, especially when we just go into launch. There's going to be a lot of training and conditioning of our minds that's going to need to take place, so counseling as well, like how do you handle this? So all that, I'm looking really forward to it. Just an example, I did a debt-free journey, and I was surprised how many people just don't, well, I was one of them, but you just don't know how to manage your funds. You don't realize that living in debt is not on, and how to get out of debt and what's the best way of doing it without backsliding and keep on going back for more and more loans. So yes, courses like that help me. And I think that we will definitely have a lot of that sort of thing, not just with the finances, but the emotional support that you're going to need, and also just guidance, literally life guidance of how you're going to go forward with this, without going crazy and not losing. You can't really lose everything because it's residual income, but just so that you're not throwing your money amongst swines. Don't throw your pearls among swines. So I think that we will definitely get the proper education that we're going to need to move forward.
Thank you,
Thanks.
Marina. Anyone else like to add to that? Back to you, Milo.
One of the products that I'm really excited about is Oatmeal. And I'm just wondering, is there any type of a limit to how many emails you can send out at one time with Oatmeal? Red?
As everything is within ONPASSIVE, it's that buzzword again, unlimited. So with Oatmeal, it will be exactly the same. It will be unlimited.
Wow. Anyone else? I guess there's no other answer to that. Back to you, Julie. Thank you, Red.
Thank you, Milo. So I have a website and products that I'm selling with other MLM company. Will I need to do anything to market so that ONPASSIVE can provide the marketing and the ClickFunnels for me when ONPASSIVE launch? Marina?
Firstly, not every company is going to be able to just get put onto the website. They need to be legal compliant and ethical, obviously. So yes, the nice thing about that is it will be checked out, and the businesses that are being promoted within the ONPASSIVE platform or what have you, we know are legit and legal and compliant and all the rest of it. So you'll also find if you have got one of those companies or you are affiliated to them, you'll know that, okay, the vetting has been done. This is a legit company, and people could obviously get more business from it, with the great products. There's a lot of great network marketing and MLM businesses out there, but we've all been burnt with going into the wrong business in the past. And that's what's going to be fantastic, is it has to be vetted, and ONPASSIVE will make sure that it is. So they do the homework for us. Going forward, we're never going to really get our fingers burnt again with getting into the wrong business. So yes, that's my 2 cents worth at least. Looking forward to that.
Thank you, Marina. I know Red has his hand raised, but he's not on camera right now. Red, are you still there with us? He stepped away.
Yes, I am.
Yes, Red, please add more to it if you have any.
Yeah, I was just going to say exactly what Marina said right at the beginning, is that the company has to be approved, and there is a approval way that ONPASSIVE are going to say whether a company can be hosted with us or not, and one of those is ethical. To be honest, even though they are legal, they have to be ethical as well. So that is the very first criteria that any company has to have first, is that it's got to be approved and be hosted on the ONPASSIVE, and the rest of it is exactly what Marina said.
Thank you, Red. Anyone else like to add to that? Marty? I think your hand's raised. No, okay. Back to you, Milo.
All right. Well, living in Music City, of course, I've got a music question. If music is streamed, is there anything in place that will collect royalties for the artist, for the songwriter? And will that be done in like some sort of contract? We've already kind of said this, short contract through blockchain. And I know that Jeff said that, you know, it's not there yet, but it probably will. But does anyone know that, the answer to that one? Marina?
Don't know the answer, but I do remember someone asking Ash Mafaro the same question. And like, would they get paid? Like, you know, so for example, to compare it to a YouTube channel that you're getting paid for as an influencer, would we have a similar thing within ONPASSIVE? And his response was, we are getting residual income. So you're not going to be getting paid for your music videos, but if you are doing it through the academy, or you're charging, you know, for whatever, that is how you'd be able to get paid for that. But and obviously selling tickets to a concert you might be having virtually, but not as a per video, per view and what have you. That's just my understanding, but it's I'd like to hear from anyone else if they know.
Jeffrey? Thank you, Marina.
Well, the whole topic is a little nebulous simply because we don't have it out there yet. But it sounds like the question is revolved around, if I have a personal product, a song, a composure that I am putting out, and I have now gone and used Academy or something, and I put that song out there, people can download it or listen to it much like they would, you know, a course. Then it would seem to me that Mr. Mufara is going to have, not only can I download this, or if it's streaming, but in any way that you want to have this paid for. I mean, you could, if somebody wants to pay extra and download it and then they can resell it, you can, I mean, you get more for it. If they want to just stream it, right, then there's got to be a way for it to be able to collect the royalties or collect fees through the streaming process. I have no idea. Mr. Osong probably knows a little more about the technicalities behind that. But again, it seems to me like with the thoroughness that we've seen and witnessed with everything that Mr. Mufar has put up, that's going to be a pretty easy piece of cake to do. So the short answer is, yeah, you'll be able to collect whatever finances from your product that you want to, in whatever way that you want to collect it.
All right, great. Andy?
I think obviously with things like YouTube, when you send your viewers to go to our ONET and view it, then obviously they're going to be offered this 7-day free trial to make use of the products and services. So from an owner of the video, for instance, go see my video, you'll get this 7-day free trial, and they will come on as customers. So technically, you know, we're going to see an influx of customers that way as well, like from YouTubers, or from selling or offering music videos, etc., where people come and look at these things. And Ash has already expecting that you know, we could have over 50% of those that go to view this and get offered this 7-day free trial, that they will take it up, and obviously then the person is then receiving a residual income from those new customers that come on board.
Yeah, I think the thing that I'm looking for is song copyright. So if an artist has a song copyright on a song and someone else uses it, is there a way that that artist will be paid, whether it's, you know, like 0.08 cents or whatever every time it's streamed? That's the way the radio industry does it, the television industry does it. I'm just wondering if there's going to be something there in that way, if anyone knows. Charles, do you know anything, being the IT guy you are?
Well, I think a lot of this stuff is going to depend on how Ash and his team want to set it up, because today, with the capability that we have, they can pretty much set it up any way they want. So I'd rather wait for Ash to tell us exactly how they want to do it, because trying to be careful not to give out information that he doesn't want to get out, right? So,
Right.
Yeah, so I believe I'll rather wait for him to give us an idea, give us a clue, and then we can go from there. But yeah, it is a variety of ways that he can go.
Great. Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you. Julie, back to you.
Brent had his hand raised.
Oh,
for
I'm
a
sorry.
question.
Brent.
No, I was just going to say, normally, as far as copyright is concerned, people can waiver the copyright if they choose to put it somewhere. So, say for instance, in your case, you're talking about song copyright. Ash might set it up, for instance, in the way that he's saying, yes, you can use our service, but you have to waiver your right to the copyright for the song. So, like Charles said, and until we see how it's set up, it could go a lot of the ways. But just because a person receives copyright now for a song from a radio station doesn't mean to say that he would automatically then have a copyright if it was on our YouTube, because he would have to physically put it on there, because nobody else would put it onto the site. He would do it himself. And then obviously if the deal is he has to waiver the copyright to the song or revenue from the copyright to the song, that's the deal that goes with hosting it on the site.
And I like that. I mean, I think they're going to make much more anyway, by doing it that way anyway. So
of course,
it's probably just something that's going to change over time. Okay, Marty.
Yeah. Am I muted? No, I'm unmuted. Okay. Yeah, we got to keep in mind when this behemoth is launched, there's a lot of stuff we just don't know. We're going to go in and it's going to be like Dorothy on The Wizard of Oz. Oh, it's the house landed, but we don't know where we're at and what's going on. We're going to be able to go through, like Charles said, we don't know. There's artificial intelligence, machine learning, but how did he want it to learn? How did they set it up? What did they want it to do? And we don't know any of that. Even the small detailed stuff we don't know, we'll get in and we're going to find out real quick because he made it user friendly. But a lot of it, yeah, we have no idea. And with artificial intelligence, it gets smarter the more data it gets. So it just keeps feeding it. And then it finds out no turn right here, no turn left here. Okay, forget it, go straight. It will learn, like Charles says, it learns what people are doing. It's going to learn where I'm surfing. It's going to learn, where did I go after I signed up? What did I do? What is he doing? They're going to like this. It's like going on TV and you watch a certain show and later on it says, we think you'll like this. That's some type of that, but artificial intelligence is way beyond that. But there'll be a lot of little items we're going to go, I'm not sure. I think months down the road, even after it launches, you're going to find out that one piece is hooked to something else and does something you didn't even know it, which would be cool. But I just think there's little things we'll probably learn as it opens, I would think.
All right, we'll take one more. Marina?
I just wanted to remind everyone what Ash told us a few months ago. And he's mentioned it a few times actually over the course that I've been a founder anyway, is that whatever we think it is, it's bigger than that. So I think that, whatever we are imagining in our minds, it's just going to blow us away. It's going to be bigger than that. And whatever we think, can it do this, can it do that, it's going to do 10 times more than that. So I think we must, just enjoy the journey and know that if it's needed and if it's a requirement, Ash said, if you need it in business, so it's not just, when we think business, a lot of us, if we're not in music or not an artist, we're thinking business, brick and mortar, whatever. We're not thinking of the artists and the singers, but
Right.
Yet you are. So yes, that's your business. So if you need it in business, I think it will definitely be made available to you in the due course.
Absolutely. Thank you guys all for your thoughts on it. Back to you, Julie.
Thank you, Milo. So how does overflow work? Anyone? Marty?
If we look at a 3-buy, whatever it is, and I believe part of this crazy pay plan might have something like a 3-buy in it. The only reason I'm saying that is because he says 3 and it's free. Either way, we know that, and this has been said, that once you had 3, you started creating overflow. Okay, that's been said 1,000 times. So that's overflow. So overflow can be from somebody marketing above you. This is before any time. So if you're building people, you're creating overflow. The other flow can also be from the company because they're building people, and when you get a certain amount and a certain level, it overflows to the next level. So that's overflow. Overflow is the line that they're in has hit that number, and the excess is flowing to the next one. It fills that level, it flows to the next one, and that's what overflow is.
Anyone else like to add to that?
Thanks, Jeff.
Jeffrey?
No, no, you did wonderfully, Marty. I think that was very good. I was going to ask you, you used to explain it. There was a way that you explained it a long time ago. I think you used like a shower head or something with it coming down and just flowing downward. But you're absolutely right. And it does have to do with all 3 of the tables. Well, it's kind of hard not to use a matrix. I mean, you've got the three tables, where you've got your personal team, right? And then, or your unilevel, and then you've got your teams, and then you've got the whole company, and the overflow is working throughout the entire system. So everything that's coming down from all of those, every time it breaks a new level, that is overflow, no matter where it is.
Whatever it is, yeah. And
wherever it is.
The point is, whether you call it a matrix or not, the word overflow is in the company.
Yeah.
Ash has said it, everybody said it. That means there's a limit, whatever that limit is. And there's a limit on each level. So whatever that limit is, when you hit it, I believe the top level's 3. If the 4th person goes down, the next one's 9, the next one's 27 or whatever, and it just keeps going that way. What's neat about it's not just you, they're building everybody. Plus you do have some people that are building, which increases that. And it's just going to be crazy. So yeah, but there's some type of level because he didn't like, what was the other word instead of overflow? Spillover. Yeah, there was a big deal. Don't use spillover, but overflow, to me.
Yeah, but the key takeaway here that you're referring to is that you're looking at a horizontal limit of 3, and then it goes down. The overflow goes down, whereas the limit is applied horizontally. So, and that's how you fill, and that's how you keep the term in your head.
Yeah.
Okay, anyone else? For you, Milo?
All right, and I think we're about to the last question. So when an account is paused due to the lack of funds, I understand that the person as a founder can only use free product. Does their account continue in the marketing campaign and have ability to gain resellers? Charles? Oh, Marty?
Some of the stuff is also detailed, but let's remember, if I get paused, the person above me and the person below me are not paused. So the train is running. So if you're paused, it could be 20 minutes, okay, or whatever it is. Or you can add in the $10 to make it paid off. But I mean, I can't imagine anybody in ONPASSIVE, especially anybody in the end now, that there's going to be this thing you call a pause. But if it pauses, the system is running. If that doesn't stop, can you use the Academy or this? Maybe not. But the free stuff, whatever, it doesn't matter. The point is, when do you get back in the game? The game is playing around you. So it's going to fill right in either from the bottom, the top, the sides, whatever, because we also have kind of a spill up. Because just because you got paused doesn't mean the 700 people under you did. They probably didn't. So it just, to me, it's crazy because I don't see it. I just don't see it happening. I really don't, especially on the second month. You know you're paying the first month. So, yeah, I don't see it happening.
Absolutely. Charles?
Yeah, it's like Marty said, I don't see it happening either. It's if you are a founder at this time, or even at any time before launch, okay, and you've paid that first month because of the overflow. Now, overflow, remember, this, it can be from us, from those people that came before the new founders. it can be from the company. And we all know 3, not just 3 and it's free, but 3 and you're in green, Ash says, right? 3 and you're in green. So I just don't see how it's gonna be paused. And even if it is paused, I don't think it's ever gonna be paused for more than 1 whole day. I don't see it. But like Maddie says, everything is still turning, the money is coming in. Yeah, that's it.
Awesome. Mr. Morlock.
Just want to clarify, when we talk about accounts and paying one time out of pocket, we're talking per account. So if I've got 10 accounts, I got 10 out of pockets for my first, unless 3 is 3. I mean, that's totally different. But you understand what I'm saying, right? I'm not going to pay one time out of pocket for 1 month for all 10 accounts. Right. That 1 month payment is going to be 10 times out of pocket for each month for each account. I just want to put that out there.
Awesome. 1 for each account. Yep. Anybody else? Chris Johnson.
Hey, just to bring it up also, you will also be able to give your personal friends your 7-day free trial out of your back office, correct? So you're going to always be looking for people saying, I believe you could do that. Marina, is that correct? Where you're going to have your own 7-day free trial you could send to somebody, one of your friends, family?
7-day free trials for everybody.
Well, actually, all you have to do, Chris, just give the 7-day free trial to them. They come in, get 7 days. So that's going to be easy. I've never seen any business this easy.
Yeah, everybody gets it.
Free trial.
Yeah.
This is
So I'm saying, don't give out Christmas cards. Give out 7-day free trials. Much better.
That's it.
There you go. All right. Anyone else got any last words?
I do have 2 questions and short questions, but Andy, do you want to say?
Andy,
I have 2 more questions though.
You do?
Yes.
I thought we was down to the last one.
I got 2 more questions. Trust me.
All
Andy.
right.
Hey guys, you ask the questions. That's fine.
Okay, so the last 2 questions that I have a very easy question. Please we only have 2 minutes to end, so just take 1 minute for each questions. So right now there are over 605,000 founders in ONPASSIVE. Am I too late? Andy?
Let me put things into perspective. There are 600,000 odd founders. Ash has already mentioned that we anticipate taking on 100 million customers in the first year. And the prospective market for ONPASSIVE is everybody that uses the internet. So over 4.5 or 4.6 billion people. 600,000 founders at the moment is still 0.6% of the first year's customer base, and 100 million is still less than 2.5% of the total marketplace. So no, it's not too late at all.
Thank you, Andy. Anyone else like to add to it? It's over a minute, but it's good. All right, no hands raised. So now come to my last questions. Many of us here are top leaders in our company. Some of you have Ash's phone number even and talk to Ash every day like Marty here. And many of you probably have already received many of this question. So when is the soft launch? When is the launch date? Jeffrey.
Remember, I made that joke and got myself in trouble, so I'm not saying it yet.
That's why I put my hand up. I was going to say something funny. I thought, no, I'll just say it wasn't yesterday.
I know when soft launch.
What I will do is kind of clarify what the soft launch is so that we will recognize it. Because a lot of folks they're thinking, okay, as soon as we get products in the back office that we can use, maybe that's soft launch. Or maybe it's when the price goes up. Right. And that's probably the real telltale indicator is that you're going to start getting more things into the back office. But once the price actually goes to the increase, that's the red flag or the checkered flag saying we are now in soft launch, because that means the price has gone up, which means that we're entering into beta, because as Mr. Osong, I think, had said earlier, that once we actually enter into soft launch, we're going to be testing the marketing and the money flow campaigns. And that by default, right, simply by extension, includes the AI that runs all of it. And that means we got to have money in the system. Without money in the system, you can't trust, you can't do the marketing, and you certainly can't do the money flow. So when is soft launch? As soon as the price increase happens, we will be officially in soft launch. But if you're looking for a date, keep looking.
I had soft lunch today. It was chicken salad sandwich. Pretty soft.
Well, yeah, yes, what I say. We are already in soft launch.
Yeah,
We've
we
been
are.
in soft launch.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah. So it's going to be hard to say this is soft launch, this is not soft launch, this is hard launch. Just like Jeffrey just said, once you see that bonus, then you can say, okay, this is what we've been waiting for. But we are in soft launch.
Yeah.
Another great thing to look at is when Ash does a webinar at some weird time and tells you to set up your wallets.
Yep.
That's
Or you say, when I say, it's here, no more it's coming, it's here.
That's right. That's right.
As Mafara actually did say that we in soft launch, I think that most of the founders are just expecting soft launch with the bonus. So as long as they're not getting paid the bonus, they think we're not in soft launch, but we literally are, because it's all part of the beta testing. Right now, the OBLESS is collecting data. We don't see what's happening. Not all the founders are going to, not all the products are going to be tested by us as founders. They're going to be tested in the alpha testing, like Charles mentioned. I'm learning quite a lot here. And then obviously we are going to be testing certain products, but we are in soft launch. Products are getting tested right now. They might just not be getting tested by us. And that's all part of the beta testing soft launch.
Exactly.
Absolutely. That is so beautiful. Anything else? Anyone like to add last words? Milo, would you like to add anything else to it?
Thank all of these people for coming tonight and blessing us with their presence. Man, you guys were awesome. Man, the answers that came out were awesome. You know, I learned stuff tonight that I didn't know, and I appreciate it.
Absolutely. I resonate that with you, Milo. I appreciate all the leaders here. Thank you, Andy, Red, and Marina. It's midnight where you are. Really appreciate you coming on here. Everyone, if you watched this video, you wanted to reach out to these leaders. They love you so much. For them to accept our invitation to be here with us here, it's a 2 hours long of Q&A, and yes, their brain are working really crazy to be able to answer all these questions to you. So if you watched this, please reach out to them and tell them how much you appreciate them. Thank you so much for watching our Q&A session today. Thank you all leaders being here with us. As always, please stay well, stay healthy, and most of all, stay alive. Good night from Orange County, California.
Good night from
Nashville. And don't forget to get back with the person who shared this video with you.
Thank you, Milo. Absolutely.
Back from South Africa, and it's actually 25 to 3 in the morning.
Oh,
Wide awake, fired up. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you
Good
so
night,
much.
everyone.
Thank
Good
you,
night.
Charles, for taking your
Good night, guys.
schedule.
Michigan.
Thanks, Charles. Thanks, Andy. Thanks, Jeffrey.
Really
Thanks, Marty. Thanks, Marina. Thanks, Chris.
Thank you so much.
Ya. Bye.
Thank you.
Listen to the stories and how they tell when they joined and how they're doing so well. Telling us what it's all about today and how they are loving that own passive way. On passive, here today on passive, there's no better way. Listen to the Julie and the Milo show, so then you can be the very first to know. On passive, it's a here today. Julie and Milo show is coming your way on passive.